Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, has attributed the resurgence of the wild polio virus in the country to insecurity in the northeast. The minister explains that the situation was not caused by the government's complacency, as adequate funding was provided while monitoring exercises were undertaken. Professor Adewale says health workers did not have access to some villages in Borno State where the recent cases were discovered.
Report from the detailed investigation carried out by our team revealed that both cases came from security-compromised areas of Borno State, which have had limited access to any form of health services, including immunization, since 2011. The case reported in Jere local government area was from a child who had arrived at an internally displaced persons camp in Muna camp in Jere local government around Maiduguri, after trekking for 2 days following the provision of an escape corridor by the military authorities. The second case was detected in Goza local government of Borno State. Both local government areas have had their health facilities destroyed by insurgents, and accessibility was a barrier to service provision.
Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Yemisi Yekbaye. Yemisi.
Thanks, Ijoma. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has rearrested a former governor of Imo State, Mr. Achike Udenwa, in connection with alleged financial misconduct. A source close to the commission says the former governor, as a state coordinator for the presidential campaign organization in Imo State, allegedly collected 350 million naira from the former Minister of Finance, Lenadi Usman. He's alleged to have admitted receiving the money in 3 installments. Mr. Udenwa became governor of Imo State in 1999. He won the re-election in 2003, and his tenure ended in 2007. He later became Minister of Commerce and Industry between 2008 and 2010, under the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. The Kwara State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested Mohammed Adamu for possessing about 9.8 million naira in fake currency notes. Parading the suspect, the state commander of the NDLA, Ape Ruben, said the confiscated money, which is in 1,000 naira denominations, was concealed in cartons of noodles. He noted that the fake currency trafficker was apprehended by the Jebba command of the agency while in transit to Kanu. The commander adds that an investigation is ongoing to arrest another suspect in Ilorin, the Kwara state capital. Made in Nigeria, buy in Nigeria. That appears to be the message being preached by the Nigerian Navy. This follows its latest acquisition of 39 new gunboats, 30 of which were produced locally. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Defense, Ambassador Danjuma Sheni, says the new equipment is expected to boost naval operations.
Yeah. No, how are you?
We are now looking more inward for our equipment. So the Nigerian Navy has done particularly well that they have engaged local contractors and have also involved local content in the production of what we have commissioned here today. For the country, that is good news, generally speaking. This is a very auspicious time. The boats would be inducted immediately into operations in the Niger Delta, and like I said earlier, coming at a very good time in the fight against the insurgency we have in the Niger Delta area.
But having these boats built in our facility means that we could learn from, we could tap from the expertise of the shipbuilders or the boat builders. And of course, the dock facilities there has a GRP workshop. I think with the experience we are gathering from them, we should therefore be able to start reproducing similar boats in the not too near future.
Preventing cases of environmental pollution and ensuring proper urban planning are the objectives of the Anambra State Government as it relocates the vegetable market in Onitsha. The Superintendent General of the operation, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, explains the initiative is not aimed at depriving traders of their sources of income.
Onitsha is arguably the commercial nerve center of the southeast, mainly because it's renowned for its bursting commercial activities and every other tradable item on the face of the earth. This hunger for entrepreneurship has, however, led to the indiscriminate opening of market stalls in unauthorized areas of Anambra State, a situation the state government says threatens the environment as well as its income. Kenneth Okonkwo is the Superintendent General of the Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra. He's here to enforce the relocation of traders of the fruit and vegetable market in the state.
Due to environmental pollution and unauthorized business premises, government decided and directed that I move them to the appropriate market, where they will come as a cluster to enable government collect their revenue. This is a private land owned by an individual, and it is not acceptable in any way.
His mission here is, however, met with stiff resistance by some traders.
Market not by force. Here. This is in the place, then they sell everything. Melon, no melon they sell. If you go, then they sell melon there. We leave market today, then they sell melon there. What do you do this man? Where is the Ethiopia now? The post.
We are keeping here very, very neat. It is not because that they are coming yesterday. We clean them with caterpillar and the tipper every Saturdays. But because of their coming, we ran away. So we couldn't do that.
The situation at the permanent site is, however, calm, as traders here were full of praise for the state governor, Willie Obiano, for having the courage to relocate the market.
In fact, it is amazing, and we thank the governor for this kind of gesture.
The new fruit and vegetable market is expected to accommodate over 1,000 traders with convenience facilities.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Central Bank of Nigeria allays fears of distress and liquidation on the country's banking system. That's on Business News. Join us again.
And just before we take that quick break, the Niger Delta Avengers have denied agreeing to enter into dialogue with the federal government. A statement issued by the self-acclaimed spokesman for the dialogue group, Mr. Maritime, claimed that the group had agreed to enter into talks with the federal government. However, the Avengers, in a tweet by its spokesman, says Mr. Agri's claim is false. He adds that they do not know where Mr. Agri is, and he cannot say that he's speaking on their behalf. Now, hundreds of residents have fled their homes in Ninte community in Jama local government area of Kaduna State. This follows the alleged killing of over 16 people by suspected herdsmen. Tonight, our community report looks into the impact of this on the lives of victims and how the state government plans to address the situation.
Etisola, now you're talking.
The wind in Ninte community calls out, but no one answers. The silence is as chilling as the reason the town is deserted. How did this once bubbly locality become desolate? Just a week ago, there was peace here, but all that changed in an instant when unknown gunmen laid siege on the community, burning houses, vehicles, and farmlands. Worse than that is the report that over 16 people were allegedly killed in separate attacks. This resident recalls the events that led to the mayhem.
One of our family went to the farm for doing work, So he was doing the work. The Fulani people come and put cows inside the farm. So he decided to send them away. So they grabbed him and caught him and wounded him.
Among the victims is this couple. Ahmed Yusuf was a youth leader who protected the interests of others, but there was no one to defend him and all the others. His brother tells the story.
7 minutes past 12 in the midnight. So we hear shot of gun everywhere. And after they kill my brother Ahmed and his wife, and they come out, they enter another man's house. Unfortunately, the house of the man, he's not at home.
In the midst of the sorrow is anger and suspicion. Fingers point to Fulani herdsmen who these residents say were allowed to live amongst them because they had no idea the tables would turn so violently.
We don't know even where they come from. They come here and stay with our parents, and our parents agree with them. And because of the social people, our people are so social, they decided to allow these people to come and stay with us. And then now that they have now grown up horns, they have refused us to have peace in our own land.
The claim is refuted by the chairman of the Cattle Breeders Association, who says his people harbor no ill feeling against their hosts.
The Fulani people are not responsible for the killings. We are lovely and law-abiding people.
For this man, knowing who committed the crime is as easy as finding a needle in a haystack. So his interest lies more in what the authorities plan to do about the situation.
If the government will care, they give us reinforcement on whatever method they know.
And that solution may just be around the corner, as the state governor is here to see things for himself. There is an assurance that security will be beefed up.
We are going to make a request to the Inspector General of Police, and the state government will bear the burden of building the police station if approved.
As the governor makes his way out, the inconsolable residents can only wait for the fulfillment of the promise made, which perhaps can bring some succor to their bleak state of mind.
Etisala, now you're talking.
Next on the news at 10, Germany ends Nigeria's hopes of winning a gold medal in the football event of the Rio Olympics. And that's on sports. Do join us again.